Today's devotion is titled Prove Satan Wrong, and we are on day 166, and we're on June the 15th. And today's morning rinse, as you can tell by the title, is Job 17 through 20, so I hope that you've read that. And let's focus on the featured verse. It is Job 19:25. And that might be a really easy way to remember this special verse, Job 19:25, because it's an easy year to remember, I guess. As for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and at the last he will take his stand on the earth. Can you feel the passion that Job has right now? Job's love for God, despite thinking that he had abandoned him and despite any struggles that he was having, his love for God is such a beautiful, beautiful picture of faithfulness. And interestingly enough, Job, before he even said this, and while he was saying this, and as he was saying this, he had no idea about the conversation between God and Satan before Satan struck him. And in that conversation, Satan claimed that Job loved God due to all the blessings that God had given him. And so God gave Satan permission to send destruction to Job to prove him wrong. And God knew that no matter what happened, that Job would remain true to his faith. Despite all the calamities and the things that, his friends, even Bildad, said to him, Job held true to his faith, and he proved Satan wrong. Here's a recap of the things that Bildad said. He told him that he was wicked in chapter 18:5. And this right here is like a second, third round of things. So it's just continually going on. So 1, he told him that he was wicked, chapter 18:5. 2, he claimed Job's light or influence in life was dimming because of wickedness. This was Job 18:6. Number 3, he said that he had schemes against others who turned on him, kind of like a karma accusation, or if you will. That's chapter 18:7 through 8. Number 4, he claimed that traps have caught him and grabbed him, like caught up with him and grabbed him, these traps that are out there. Verse 9 of chapter 18. Number 5, he declared more calamity was headed his way. Chapter 18:12. I mean, can you believe? Let's just pause here for a second. Like, just those 5 things alone, are heart-wrenching to have this friend come in and make these accusations. But then to say, there's more calamity that's coming your way, Job. I mean, it just is baffling to me. All right, so number 6, Bildad listed the bad things that had happened to Job, such as his boils, his kid's death, and now he was driven from his home due to the boils. Okay, like he's blaming things. That was chapter 18:13 through 14. Number 7, he reminded Job he had no offspring or clout anymore and told him that many people were appalled by him. Chapter 18:19 through 20. And then the last thing he said, number 8, which is the biggest thing ever. He accused Job and said that he did not know God. That's in chapter 18, verse 21. Can you imagine being told these things from a friend? This is the third devotion, this daily devotion, that I have mentioned Job's friends and the things that they had accused him of and the things that they had said to him. This is the third time we've talked about it. Can you imagine being told these things? Even though Job had really no explanation as to why he was going through these things, he continued to stand firm in his faith. He remained hopeful in God, calling him his Redeemer. This proved right then, this verse alone, Job 19:25, this proved Satan wrong. So when you face trials, will you be a Job and prove Satan wrong? Will you declare, I know my Redeemer lives. No matter what you are going through or what people are saying about you, will you stand firm on that statement no matter what? I know my Redeemer lives. Today's challenge to dig deeper is to prove Satan wrong with your praise. I want you to repeat all day long, no matter what has happened to you, no matter what you are going through, no matter the challenges that you're facing today, no matter the things that seem a little difficult, no matter those bumps in the road, no matter what you personally are enduring, or maybe somebody else in your life is enduring, or maybe there's something in your life that has, been a challenge. No matter what, repeat all day long, I know my Redeemer lives. Now, there is a song called I Know My Redeemer Lives, and be sure and look that song up. I wouldn't say that it's like part of the daily challenge, but it could be. I know my Redeemer lives. That song. I know you guys are hearing me, it's going through your brain right now, I'm sure. And to think that the words in that song came from Job when he was going through this, when he had boils all over his body, when he had lost all of his children, when he lost all of his possession, when he lost all of his employees. I mean, basically his business just folded. He lost his family. He lost his health, like all of that just so quickly. And yet he's saying, I know my Redeemer lives. And when we think about the things that Job went through and his whole story, it brings our problems and our challenges into a whole new perspective, doesn't it? We oftentimes get caught up, especially in America, complaining about the strangest things, and yet we're reading here in the Bible about prophets like Jeremiah and Isaiah and Ezekiel who were abused both verbally and physically, and who were basically ostracized from their community in family, their challenges that they had faced. And now Job facing what he is enduring. And the thought of them saying, especially Job, I know my Redeemer lives. I know he does. No matter what happens to me, no matter what challenges I'm facing, no matter what financial issues I'm having, no matter the things that I've lost, no matter losing a business or not, no matter what, I know my Redeemer lives. I'm going to read the featured verse one more time. Job 19:25. As for me, and granted, he was around friends that were making some strong and heavy accusations, and who knows where their thoughts were at that moment. But he said, as for me, I know my Redeemer lives, and at the last he will take his stand on the earth. Job's love for God just went so deep, and he was like, you know what? All of this really means nothing if Jesus, if my Redeemer, God, at that time, were not around. But I know God lives. I know my Redeemer lives. And at the last, he will take his stand on this earth. I know my Redeemer lives. Makes a whole new, totally different perspective when we think to complain or get frustrated at those small little things, right? So when you pull out your journal tonight and you're writing or documenting how you're feeling, did you feel at all a heart change today when it comes to just reading the book of Job? Did you feel an increase in hope just by repeating this short phrase, I know my Redeemer lives? I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. Did you happen to feel more hope by stating those 5 simple words? Did it feel good to be a part of proving Satan wrong? I mean, that's our challenge today, is proving Satan wrong, especially in the midst of our challenges and, our struggles and the hurdles that we have to jump over in life, or the curveballs that we get faced in life. I know my Redeemer lives. And when that happens, and when we are faced with those challenges, and when we are faced with life's hurdles and the things that happen that we wouldn't anticipate, that don't seem real great, when we praise our Heavenly Father, and when we respond in this way, and when we say those words, we are proving Satan wrong, and he will then have to figure out another way to try and attack us, right? Because we've passed that test. And so remember, my challenge to you is, when those challenges come, or when those hiccups come, or when those, curveballs come in life that we weren't expecting, or when things just don't go perfect in our day, pause and say, I know my Redeemer lives. And prove Satan wrong, that we won't turn our back on our faith. I hope today inspired you. I hope that it challenged you. I hope that it gave you hope just by repeating that quick 5-word phrase. I hope it gave you hope and inspiration. And if you don't have my devotional, go down to the show notes, because there's a link down there, and be sure and give that, order that. Maybe order that for someone. And even if you have to send it anonymously, order it and send it out. I would love to hear the stories of that. So keep striving, and we are not done with Job. Nope, we've got more to study from the book of Job. So until tomorrow, keep rinsing, reflecting, and repeating. God bless you.